Hi friends! So apparently Storytime videos are a thing, so I'm just gonna tell you a story. Alright, let's set the scene. The year is 2003. I am 13, 14 years old in my freshman year of high school. I'm living in San Diego and it is early October, and I am at a friend's house for her birthday sleepover party. So, you know, normal birthday party things. We go out, we eat dinner, we have cake, you know, watch movies until we eventually fall asleep talking about boys, yada yada yada, pillow fights, you know, like girl things. So it's a sleepover birthday party, right? When you wake up in the morning, you usually wake up to the smell of bacon and pancakes or donuts or something fun. But we're all slowly waking up to just a general smell of just burning. And we're all sitting there thinking like, damn, your mom's not a very good cook. Not the case. Turns out that there are widespread wildfires throughout San Diego. I remember we all got up, ran outside to her backyard, and people were like, look, I can see the flames over those hills over there. That's crazy. And I was like, damn, it sucked to live that way. Which is ironic, because I lived that way. For some reason in my head, I turned around which way her house was, so I thought in my head that I was facing away from my house. So we all call our moms and we're like, hey, did you know there's a fire? Fucking obviously they knew there was a fire. Everyone's freaking out. It's on the news. There are helicopters flying over our houses telling us we need to evacuate. Of course they knew there were fires. So I'm like, Mom, come pick me up. I need to come to the house and help you pack up the stuff. I was a teenager and I thought, I need to be home for this. As opposed to, you know, come pick me up when you're done. So my mom, you know, rushes out through traffic, comes and picks me up at my friend's house. We get back home and my mom is frantically packing all of our photo albums into the car. And she's taking pictures off the walls, and my dad's outside trying to water our roof because everyone like down the street is doing the same thing. And the fire is like far away at this point. It started far, far away. So if it's like 60 miles away from our house, like how is a slow crawling fire ever going to reach our house if we have, you know, tons of firemen on the job, you know, people being flown in from other counties, trying to help put out this fire. It's this weird dichotomy of like frantic, but also like, but really, is it gonna reach here? So I remember while we were packing, I asked my mom, do you think that I should go upstairs to my room and pack some like clothes, some extra underwear, like, you know, just some things that I can wear later? And my mom looked at me and she's like, nah, we're gonna be home like later today, probably, maybe tomorrow at the latest. So I don't. I go upstairs, I grab some pictures, and then I get in the car. We grab our dog. I'm laughing because it's terrible, and sometimes I laugh at terrible things, but we leave our turtles, which is sad, because they're in this giant fish tank full of water. It's hard to carry, it takes up so much room. We could have put them in like a little fish bowl and taken them, but we didn't think of that. We just kind of were rushing. We only had like maybe an hour to get out of the house, so we were just kind of like grabbing things and going. And by the time we get on our way to leaving, there's this big old line of cars because there are like 2 exits out from where I live. So we get out to the 2 exits, it's jammed, and this big road also jammed. And we drive over to my uncle's house. And we are sitting there and we are watching the TV, and it's getting closer. It's jumping over valleys, it's jumping over freeways, and it's not slowing down. There are several full neighborhoods completely burnt to the ground. And we're watching, people reporting in front of fires, this house is just finishing burning down. Watch the flames engulf someone's entire livelihood. And we're watching like the bottom ticker tape that's showing like, these are the houses that no longer exist. And we're just hoping that our house is not on that list. Hours go by. The fire is raging. It is showing no signs of stopping. The air smells like smoke. There's black smoke everywhere. It's raining ashes. So we're watching this thing for several hours, and we finally get the news that there are 2 houses remaining on my street. Not mine. And it's the weirdest thing ever. It's sad, like, obviously, but it's also, like, confusing and shocking. You don't really realize what you're gonna miss until it's all gone. Like, you start going through all of the, like, material things, like, oh, my favorite movies, oh, my clothes, and then you start thinking about, like, oh, my yearbooks and, all of the things that people wrote in said yearbooks are gone. Like, I don't have those memories anymore. All of my doodles that I thought were brilliant pieces of art probably would have sold for thousands upon thousands of dollars. And it keeps piling on until the moment you're like, oh, and the turtles who had the terrible, terrible death of being boiled to death in a slowly burning house. Great. So, as depressing as it was, I don't think that I was ever, like, really terribly affected by it as much as, like, people that were worse off than me were. Because, there are people that this house was all they had, and they had no way of, like, having enough money to fix all of this and rebuild their lives. My family is kind of like upper middle class, lived in a very rich neighborhood. It's not a great thing that happened, but it wasn't the end of our lives. Once my friends knew that I was okay and that everything was going to be okay, the jokes started coming in, because I'm one to make a joke to try to lighten the mood. So the joke became like, someone would ask me, hey, you want to go bowling tomorrow night? And I'd be like, sorry, my house burnt down. I don't have any of my bowling balls left. Like, I never had bowling balls, but... And my friends would make jokes like, oh, you left Spice World? What an idiot. That's the one thing you should have saved from the fire. So we lived with my uncle for a while. I had to go out and buy all new underwear because turns out we didn't get to go and pick up my underwears from my house later because it was burnt to a crisp. Just like completely ashes. We went and visited later and it was just black. Just flat, blackened ashes. I think it was that incident that made me the way I am with like keeping things and like giving things away. Like, my husband will buy something and he will have it forever. It's like, no, can't throw that away because memories. I'm like, no, it's just a thing. Like, I go through my stuff every like 6 months and I clear shit out because it's fine. Life continues. Anyway, so we lived with my aunt and uncle for a couple months until we found a rental home to live in as we rebuilt our house, as my whole community rebuilt their houses. It was crazy. This thing flattened so many neighborhoods. It was ridiculous. We rebuilt a bigger house that you've seen in many videos. All of the videos with like the brick and the columns and the 2 staircases, that's the new fancy house that my mom got to design and build by herself. It took like this happened like freshman year of high school. House wasn't rebuilt until senior year of high school. Like, we were out for a while. Anyway, that's my story. Some good things happened, some bad things happened. We got to rebuild. My mom got to make her dream home. I got to go on a shopping spree for brand new clothes. It's obviously sad because there are memories that are gone, but it turned out okay. You know, I got a good college essay out of it. Wow, guys, that story time was more depressing than I expected it to be. But like, you know, leave a comment down below. What's the craziest thing that's ever happened to you? And subscribe, and don't ask questions, just go with it.